Maintaining ecosystems and biodiversity is crucial for the health and stability of the planet. Biodiversity, the variety of life forms on Earth, underpins the functioning of ecosystems, which provide essential services such as pollination, water purification, climate regulation, and soil fertility. However, human activities, including deforestation, pollution, climate change, and overexploitation of resources, have significantly threatened biodiversity. To counter these threats, various programs have been established worldwide to protect ecosystems and conserve biodiversity. One approach to maintaining ecosystems and biodiversity is the creation of protected areas, such as national parks, wildlife reserves, and marine sanctuaries. These areas are designated to preserve natural habitats and the species that live within them, safeguarding them from activities that could lead to degradation or destruction. In these protected zones, human activities are either restricted or carefully managed to minimize their impact on the environment. By maintaining intact ecosystems, these areas help preserve biodiversity, allowing species to thrive in their natural habitats and contributing to the overall health of the planet. Another important strategy involves the restoration of degraded ecosystems. Restoration programs aim to rehabilitate areas that have been damaged by human activities, such as deforestation, mining, or agriculture. This can involve replanting native vegetation, restoring water flows, and reintroducing species that have been lost from the area. The goal is to return the ecosystem to a state where it can function naturally, supporting a diverse array of species and providing ecosystem services. Such efforts are vital in reversing the damage done to ecosystems and in enhancing their resilience to future environmental changes. Conservation programs also play a key role in maintaining biodiversity. These programs may focus on protecting specific species that are threatened or endangered. For example, breeding programs in captivity aim to increase the population of endangered species before reintroducing them into the wild. Conservation efforts also involve protecting critical habitats, controlling invasive species that threaten native populations, and reducing human-wildlife conflicts. By addressing the specific needs of vulnerable species, these programs help prevent extinctions and preserve the genetic diversity that is essential for ecosystems to adapt to changing conditions. However, maintaining ecosystems and biodiversity is not without its challenges. Conflicting pressures can make it difficult to implement and sustain conservation programs. One major conflict arises from the economic demands of human populations. As the global population grows and economies expand, there is increased pressure to convert natural habitats into agricultural land, urban areas, or industrial sites. This often leads to habitat destruction and fragmentation, which are major threats to biodiversity. Balancing the need for economic development with the need to preserve natural ecosystems is a complex and ongoing challenge. Another conflicting pressure comes from the interests of different stakeholders. Local communities, governments, businesses, and conservation organizations may have differing views on how land and resources should be used. For example, local communities may rely on forest resources for their livelihoods, while conservationists advocate for the protection of these forests to preserve biodiversity. In such cases, finding a solution that satisfies all parties can be difficult. Participatory approaches that involve local communities in conservation efforts can help address these conflicts, ensuring that conservation programs are sustainable and socially equitable. Climate change also adds a layer of complexity to biodiversity conservation. As temperatures rise and weather patterns become more unpredictable, ecosystems are being altered in ways that are difficult to manage. Species may be forced to migrate to new areas, and some may not survive the changing conditions. Conservation programs must therefore be adaptable, taking into account the potential impacts of climate change and incorporating strategies for enhancing ecosystem resilience. In conclusion, maintaining ecosystems and biodiversity is essential for the health of the planet, and various programs have been established to protect and restore natural habitats and conserve species. These efforts are crucial for preserving the ecological processes that support life on Earth. However, conflicting pressures, such as economic development, stakeholder interests, and climate change, complicate these efforts, making it essential to find balanced and adaptable solutions that can sustain both human needs and the natural world.